Following program is a collection of dudes talking about the happenings in the CrossFit world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions, especially those of JY, do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of others on the show. If you take things out of context, please reconsider watching. Enjoy the show.
Welcome
Yo!
to the Spin. First show after the 2026 CrossFit Games. It's now week 1 of the 2027 season. So got that to look forward to, I think, right?
There's always a weird, lull. I was telling, I think, Hiller this. There's after the games, or during, Jesus, if I can get this right. New Year's Day, everybody starts making their, New Year's resolutions. And I don't get that feeling until the games end. And then, after the games, I don't make New Year's resolutions, but I start, reconciling on the past year and then thinking about the new year. Do you guys think, does that work for you guys that way?
Maybe in the past where it was like, all right, now it's time to get serious about the next year. I think less so over the years.
Yeah.
Not that I was ever going to be an athlete, but at least back in the day, you thought oh yeah,
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Right. Definitely not realistic in any chance whatsoever. But I mean, I think you do get a little bit of motivation just by watching that. I would say maybe a little bit less motivated this year after watching it. I don't know why. Yeah.
I go through seasons. So I have a strong season and a fitness season, and I don't have any athlete aspirations at the moment, but I have a whole bunch of side quests. I'll randomly get an itch to I'll randomly just have a goal, and then I will dedicate the next 4 months to said goal, or however long it needs to take, whatever it takes to get to that goal. And then once that's done, then I just stay in my seasons until I get another itch again. So I'm in grit season right now. So the goal is just to get, strong.
Are you going to be able to compete now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
August 28th and 29th. We have 2 matches. We're currently undefeated. So
Are you back on the? You're not on the injured reserve list anymore?
Nah.
Congrats.
No. I would say I'm not at my strongest, but I am pretty explosive. I power cleaned 355 the other day, so I'm I'm strong enough. You know what I mean? So, everything feels great. I think I snatched 305 a week ago, right before the games. So again, not at my strongest, but we're good enough that we can start trying to be fast and stuff. So right now I'm just trying to be strong and be explosive. And then once grid season's over, which will probably
Biking season, baby.
Yeah. Which will probably be October, because I think we're going to make the playoffs. But then I'll switch to fitness, and I won't touch a barbell for fitness season is literally gymnastics and conditioning, because I don't need to get strong, right? And then so right at quarterfinals, I'm the weakest I'm going to be all year, because I literally won't touch weights unless they're in a workout, because I don't need to.
And then what? You power clean, 315?
No, not that weak, man. It doesn't go away from me that badly, but it's I can still really weak, but the fittest, I'm 195 fitness type deal, right? Weight wise. We're probably still cleaning 390 But the difference between guys, the difference between 390 and 405 is an astronomical difference.
10 pounds
for me, 15. But you feel weak.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yep.
like 315 feels heavier than it would.
That
Even though
315 definitely feels heavy for me.
even though you could still do it, it just feels heavier. Like
You can
snatch
still do it.
right at 300, and then clean right at 385, 390. And then when I'm strong, snatch is like 315, 320, and clean and jerk is 400 plus.
Maybe that's why you can't run fast.
Have you ever
I
just
played
thought,
smart.
for the next year, I'm just not going to lift any weights if they're not in a Metcon?
Dude,
Have
when
you
I
ever
was
thought about doing that?
when I was running, I didn't touch a bar over 315 the entire year. The entire year, I didn't try to lift weights at all. Just when they were in workouts, and I ran at least 4 days a week, if not more, and like had like a running system. Did all kinds of cross country research and tried to run as fast as I could. And I think the weakest I ever got was like a 370 clean. I maxed it out just to have fun, right? Like after I was done running, I ran 558, cried, great time, right? And then also realized like I was so happy that I had achieved this running goal, but also at the same time, I dedicated a year to just doing this, and that's as fast as it gets, right? So like, there was also a realization of you're never going to be good enough. Like you're never going to be fit enough to be one of the fittest people in the world, right? And because I feel like I gave it a real shot to fix my weakness, like my biggest weaknesses, and that's what it came out to be.
There you go. We're gonna go through some viewer comments today. We do have the CAC president, maybe, I don't know, the voice of the CAC. Seth Page will be joining us here in a few minutes. We're gonna rate the games, blind rankings, and then we're gonna find out that John is always right. Maybe. The Jewel train is still going. Brandon Gilbert, thank you. Big Tuna, Fergie.
Big Tuna.
Who's that? Jeanette.
Just wasting
Hines.
our money.
I don't know. It's good stuff. Thank you all.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Cackler.
That's right. First up, some viewer comments. For those of you watching later or now, go drop a comment down there. We'll read them off next week. First up, at Abstract Genius Comments. I feel like, is this the same one that criticizes us?
Yeah, he doesn't like us.
He does now. This weekend has been great. Following along with you guys, I have almost not watched anything, just chuggling. Hearing the coverage, the Lighthouse talk had me laughing out loud. Thanks, guys.
Lighthouse?
When the most
Lighthouse,
dangerous
most dangerous job that pays you $500,000.
Yeah, that was a good
or
conversation.
$50,000.
That was a good conversation.
You never know what you're gonna get when you watch the spin cast, and we have to sit through
9
what was that?
hours.
Yeah.
No.
An hour and a half of bedtime. At Warga. What's the difference between Ellie lifting 95 pounds on the deadlift and Guy running slow to not screw himself?
Nothing.
I think
Honestly.
one is out of caution and one is out of not caring. But sure,
Both.
I mean,
both are going to take last place.
mm-hmm.
it's more advantageous for Guy to run slow than it is for Ellie to lift 95 because, like, she's not going to save that much energy, but Guy running slow for an hour is definitely going to save a lot of energy for the rest of the competition.
I mean, I think she saves not breaking her back.
Right.
Like, again, like she
Right.
could. We saw her lift the pig. We saw her do the heavy cleans. She did something else. Like what else? There was the snatch ladder. She made it to the final round, so she could definitely deadlift more. But what, for like 3 or 6 points? Like,
right.
it's not worth it.
She-
if anything, right?
If you said Alexis running slow and taking last place, then I think they're the same thing.
That's smart. That would have been smart.
I mean, she still took last place when she tried not to run slow.
She beat.
I mean,
She beat
Annika.
She beat Annika.
Yeah.
I don't know how or why, but she did.
Ellie should be really proud of how she did, considering
Her best games ever.
Yeah.
She like basically had a bum back the entire. Could you imagine going into the
last 2
CrossFit Games
years.
with a
I
bad
should have
back?
added that to the list, man. I didn't think about it. I should have though, because
Well, you can add that to your list.
that was that's a good one.
Yeah, we can add that on. Next up, at Gray 45374. Best CrossFit news show in the space, hands down.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, Gray.
Thank you, Greg.
Michael Bean. To be fair, I do believe that Matt Frazier would likely still be the fittest today if competing. They did this as the final event on day 2 of competition in 2018. In 2026, this was the 20th event of the games.
Stay tuned, Michael, because I'm working on something. And
Did you pick that up with the thing we got the other day? There's some stuff going on about this.
I don't know what Tyler's talking about, but I am working on something, and it will come out, and it is a collaboration with other entities. So
there you go. That's why.
Stay tuned.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can make some of those comparisons. You can say that they had to walk back and touch the line, or this year go back to the start line and come back, so they had to go further.
Sure, but I 454 to that's 20 seconds, and he was way ahead of everybody. I think he would have still. I think he could have sped up, right?
Right.
Like you weren't going to go there and just start going into it. Like you had to rest anyway. So like you may have gotten to the wall faster, but you had to rest, right? Like it wasn't like.
And it's a workout you want to rest,
right? Nobody was running to the start line and back to the wall to get going. Like it was like, okay, great, I get a few extra seconds to rest so I can keep going.
Regardless, like him putting up a score back then, that's still like the field's not even close now, regardless of the 20 events. Like that's silly. Like that he was able to do that. And
well, I mean, I think you'd be shocked because like even the snatch ladder, if you go look at his time with 285 and then today's time, like it's very competitive. Now, where he gets hurt the most is the total, Matt Fraser. But it doesn't matter. Like it just doesn't matter. Like the CrossFit workouts, he still dominates everybody. Like again, I'm not done with I'm not done yet with what I'm working on, but I have a theory that Matt Fraser would win by more than Amy Greenville won. I'll put it like that.
That's fair.
Newsflash: John still thinks Matt Fraser's the best.
I mean, if you don't, I think you're just wrong. Dude. It's.
I mean, even if you take his 2017 performance at the end of the games and compare it to this, like he beat a lot of dudes.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's not like, and that's 9 years earlier.
Mm-hmm.
At the start, at the start of his run, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And you get to 2020, it's insane.
The sucky thing about 2020 is we don't really know how fit he was because of the 5 athletes in the field. I mean, like first half we knew. But like we can't truly say it that he was at his peak.
Yeah. All right,
I
last
think you
one.
can't in relation to Tia. I'll put it like that. Well, I know we got to get to Seth, but if you see what he did versus Tia, because they're doing the same things, and then Tia in 2021, he was waiting on her. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Jan Clark or Jan Clark, your choice. Stop complaining. Best left for post games. That's what we're doing right now. Get ready. We'll talk to Seth first, and then we'll complain about the games. That's
we're just gonna all of us need to be over there.
There he is. We're gonna give the guest, the Mr. CAC himself.
Speaking of complaining about the games,
wait, is that what you're here for?
No, that's what everyone else does to me.
I don't think these are complaints. These are
Do you remember me saying that I couldn't wait to get rid of Seth or shit on Seth. People thought I was serious about that.
I don't remember you saying that.
Grant
I heard you
called
joking
me.
about it.
Grant called me and was like, "Do you really not like Seth?" I was like, "No, dude."
When did you say that?
It was like I was a little shot in the middle of the games.
I don't remember that. We spent way too many hours live streaming.
I know.
Hey,
How are
did
you?
Do you watch minutes of the games there, Seth?
I watched literally every second of every stream, pretty much.
That's a lot of streaming.
I was
streams.
Yeah, my wife had something in Long Beach, California, so I made it off Hawaii to California, and then my goal was to get up to the games for like a day, but I couldn't find anyone to take care of the kids, so I was stuck in Long Beach with the kids, and I had the streams going all day, every day while she was out doing her thing, and so I got to see quite a bit.
There you go. How would you rate it?
I actually loved it. And maybe it was just because it was like a reprieve for my screaming children. And that was what I was like leaning into, but I loved it. I found it very entertaining. I didn't mind some of the things that people were complaining about, not having rep counters early on, stuff like that. None of it bothered me. I was just so like into the competition. I thought it was great.
It's very positive of you.
I enjoyed it. I don't know what else to say.
Well, we had fun hanging out with everybody on the Spincast. But the reason we wanted to have you on here is yesterday I published an article about the CAC meeting from July that you guys had with HQ's leadership, Mr. Edwards, the CEO, Dave, other games team leaders. And I posted 6 major changes. You said there are 7. I guess I didn't add one of them on there. I think it was about the teams.
Yeah.
But
Shitty reporting.
Yeah, that's true. In 24 hours, it's had 268 comments. So people were
Feeling.
in the comment section, had their opinion. Some liked it, some didn't, some argued, etc.
I would just say a lot of people are arguing for things that we all want. I think there's a pretty strong consensus in the community for how we want the season to go, I would say. And people are arguing for those things. And that's what I thought I was going to argue for too when I first got on the CAC. But when you start digging into everything and how things work and talking to people on all sides of the system, you realize that some things are presently impossible. So then you start figuring out what things you can suggest or recommend, because these are not demands. These are just basic recommendations.
Yeah, stay away from that word, that demand.
No,
We don't make demands at all.
You're going into this with the wrong attitude. Demand.
No,
Seth.
all I can do is provide what I'm finding when I'm talking to people all throughout the community. But anyway, so yeah, I agree with a lot of the other ways people would like to see the season go, but I also can't just make that recommendation and know that it's not going anywhere. So these are all things that we think can be actionable and can lead us in the direction that would potentially work in the way that athletes and people want to see the sport go.
Okay. So
can I ask a question real quick regarding that? I'm asking Spin.
yeah,
Oh.
go ahead.
He's a boss. Is it possible for it to be public why certain things are impossible?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it can be, like one of the things, like the whole regionality is probably the biggest thing that we see. People want regionals or some kind of region locks or geo locks or whatever. CrossFit is pretty set on using their semifinal partners long-term from what I can tell. And with that, they have no control over where these semifinals are going to be hosted at, right? I mean, they can accept entities. Yeah, they're their own competitions that CrossFit uses in conjunction with their season. So to find a way to regionalize or geolock those competitions is much more challenging. And on top of that, forcing certain competitions to accept athletes that qualify, like sending them a list, hey, syndicate, you're in this part of the country, you're getting these 30 men and these 30 women, like deal with it. Not every competition is going to be cool with that. Like Mayhem wants to invite people. NorCal wants, not at all. NorCal wants to have their own, online qualifiers. Like there's all these different systems to get people that they want or to be eligible there. So to force a regional situation is not possible.
Okay. So going into the meeting, how does that, like, without going into the specifics yet, but like, how does that meeting go? Like, do you guys just sit down and just read through the list? Is it a discussion? Like,
Well, a pretty decent group of us spent several months putting this all together and organizing it and everything. And then once we felt comfortable with it, we checked it 10 times before we dared click send to HQ. And then they got it. They got to mull it over for 2 weeks. And then basically they just said, okay, the next meeting, the main agenda is going to be these recommendations. And Dave pops up in the meeting and says, let's go over it. Bam, shares the recommendations. And he goes through one by one and talks through all of it, talks about the things he likes, things he doesn't like, things that would work, things that wouldn't work. And no decisions are made. These are just, this is what we'd like to see. And they consider it or don't.
Okay. All right. So let's go through these because I know you wanted to add some context to those. First one, merge the CrossFit Open and quarterfinals with 1 week separating the two competitions. So right now it's like 2 weeks separating. This past season, it was like open, then it was like 2 weeks off, and then it was the quarterfinals, if I recall it correctly. First, what do you mean by merge? And then what's the idea of only having 1 week of separation?
But before I explain this,
Yep.
Where you posted the stuff, the 6 recommendations, were those in did you get those from the notes off the CrossFit Athlete Council website? Okay.
Minutes, yeah.
Yeah, so things are worded pretty differently just in terms of how AI took the meeting and then made notes for everybody to read. So the first recommendation is that the opening quarterfinals should be one continuous leaderboard with the top 500 or so, depending on semifinal spots. Men and women are eligible to compete live at semifinals. So in full, we want the opening quarterfinals to matter, to get some sort of version of a continuous score that qualifies athletes to semifinals, so that the HQ is forced to take a stronger look at the programming in terms of having it be a more complete, well-rounded test through the open and quarters. And that the people who qualify for semis, we picked the number 500. It could be more or less than that. But basically, we didn't really like the idea that 2,000 men and women are going to qualify for semis and 300 of them are going to get to go compete live. It doesn't really constitute a semifinals athlete because you give them a shot at a third online competition. It just, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
our goal is to get people to really care about the open and quarterfinals, fight hard for those spots to qualify to get to compete live. And that's pretty similar to back to the old 5-week open, except we're not putting the burden of 5 weeks of the open back onto affiliates. We're still keeping the same structure. And that's for a number of reasons. One, we know we need the quarterfinals revenue for things. And there's other stuff with it too. And two, there's a strength of scoring system, which we could talk about in another point, but that would play into this as well.
So your open scoring would be like the first scoring of a workout.
So like if there's 3 open workouts and 4 quarterfinals workouts, you have 7 scores on a leaderboard, and you could find a way to, accumulate your scores across those 7, how you see fit. And then, and with that, I know you could push back and say, those open workouts are so easy. If you go look at the leaderboard, go look through the top 150 names, you're going to find them all.
Yeah.
You're going to find them all.
Just because the right people are there, that's what Dave says for the games, and I disagree with that too. You know what I mean?
But they did find them all
because the right people are there. The test isn't bad. I'm asking you. You're a smart guy. Does that not skew your overall ranking towards aerobic capacity if 4 of the 7 tests are just testing aerobic capacity in different domains, right?
Yeah, I don't want to go too down the programming rabbit hole, but
for elite athletes, I'm saying for elite athletes, because if you combine
capacity based, and not skill based. Yep.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you.
I'm all for like a narrower leaderboard, right? You said 500. I agree completely. Top 2,000, like the people who end up making semifinals or call themselves a semifinals athlete, and 300 people are the only ones actually doing it. I agree completely. It should be more narrow, right?
Yeah,
100% agree with that. I'm all for using your open score as one of the scores if you could somehow combine your placement as a score, as a 1 workout score for the whole open. Does that?
I'm open to that too.
Does that make sense?
That too. Totally. And any combination of that makes the Open somewhat relevant, so that it's not just a participatory event, but it's a competition. It's the beginning of the season of competing. I'm open to that sort of thing. We just made one suggestion. I mean, none of this stuff has been totally fleshed out. Like, these are all recommendations to start deeper conversations and see what is actually reasonable and what's not. Because I do agree with you. Like, the programming for the Open is so that people in gyms can participate. It's not actually a competition level programming, right? And we can say that openly and honestly, because they've been pretty transparent about that.
It's been the preseason for anybody that's,
I mean, I think it depends who says
semifinals
it,
or
but,
above.
Yeah.
So
well,
you said 500. That's a huge cut. So go from the Open, cut down to 500 athletes.
No.
That's not what he's saying. He's saying available for semifinals, but that's in totality with quarterfinals.
Okay.
Yeah, top 25% still gets out of the Open to quarters, and then they would continue on should they choose to.
I was like, because I was like, that dramatically changes.
No,
how competitive it can be.
I was 14. I was like 1463. Like, I wouldn't make semifinals. Like, that's all it means.
No, I thought he meant at first that it's like, I was like, well, quarterfinals are done for me. I'm not making it anymore.
No, in fact, we want to keep quarterfinal participation high because we frankly know that these competitions and HQ and everything needs revenue to keep the games going. So like, I want people to do quarterfinals. I want more people to do quarterfinals. And so, yeah.
I think the 500 number, we can talk about that in a couple points. The second one, use a strength of field model to invite athletes to the semifinals level of competition.
I would like to put my resume in to be on the list of people who calculates the strength of field.
Justin Berg is responsible for that.
That last one was so bad, and I don't want to see it in the wrong hands again. That's all I want to say about the matter.
And I'm happy to say I'm certainly not a mathematician. I don't want to be responsible for actually creating the strength of field. We just made some very basic suggestions. And so recommendation number 2, Spin, is listed as 40 men and 40 women should qualify to the CrossFit Games. And slots for those should be the semifinal, should be based on strength of field at a semifinal. So that semifinals are essentially gaining more slots to award to more athletes in live competition, and that the strength of field should be applied to determine which semifinals are getting those slots, and we should award 40 of them in total for both men and women, or 38 or 39 live, and then a last chance qualifier.
So you're saying that if Syndicate is like loaded or Mayhem is loaded, they would get more spots?
Absolutely.
The strength of field is indicated through the semifinals. So like Syndicate would get 7 or something. You know, I mean, that's a lot.
Africa would get 6.
Super easy way to think about this would be like, maybe, everyone who agrees to be a semifinal and is accepted gets a minimum. So maybe that's 1, maybe that's 2. I don't know what that minimum is, but they're all guaranteed to have a slot, because that would screw things up without that. And then maybe if you're looking at a strength of field of like the top 160 with their open and quarterfinal score combined on men and women's side, then, if you have 40 slots, this is not exact because I know you're giving out minimum slots, but just rough math, like maybe every 4 athletes that your semifinal gets, you get 1 game slot from that 160 or something like that. So if you have, 20 athletes out of the top 160 on the men's side, you're gaining 5 game slots because you have such a strong field at your competition. Whereas if, I'm not going to pick on another event, but an event elsewhere outside the US, maybe that's not as well attended, only has, 4 or 6 people from that top 160 out of the leaderboard. Maybe they're only gaining 1 or 2 extra slots. Something
that
like
also makes it, because when we go back to what the worldwide ranking was, it was a 2-year look back, and it had nothing. It had something to do with the current season, but it also didn't. Whereas now, if they take on your idea of combining open and quarterfinals and using that to create the strength of field, that's even more important, because you want to get in that, let's say in that example, the top 160. So it does, it's not like, well, I'll just get through. I've already got my invite to Mayhem, so I'll just finish 400th because it doesn't matter. But if I finish in the top 160, maybe that get an extra spot that gives me a better odds of qualifying through Mayhem.
Correct.
The other thing it does too is if you tie that number 2 quarterfinals, the programming thus means more again. Like having the 2-year look back thing kind of give you a washout of like what everything meant. But if you tie it back to quarterfinals in the open, everything matters like right now.
Well, that in
that's
the
kind of what
ranking,
Chase and Bill were doing with the programming when they did their shows. It was region locked, but they essentially did that, but within regions. And then this is just non-regions for doing that.
The one hole that the thing that sucks about this, Seth, is like you're like these are the broad general directions we want to head. All the minutia is still yet to be even talked about or thought about. But like the hole that I see in it is when you determine when those spots are gained due to the athletes that are going to the competition. Those rosters, like, so they fluctuate constantly, basically until the day that.
Well, yeah,
that's probably going to be in the next recommendation. That's going to be part of that topic too.
Okay.
Yeah, the next
You're right.
The next one is restrict athletes to only one in-person semifinals event.
Yeah, so make it feel a bit more like regionals, even though it's not regionals. And with the field being cut, basically, again, very rough idea. But if you qualify in that top 400, 500, whatever it is, based on how many live slots we know we'll have available, based on what semifinals are signed up to participate, athletes could do kind of like a ranked choice, almost like we did in the past a few years back, where they say, hey, I want to go to Mayhem, I want to go to Syndicate, I want to go to NorCal. And CrossFit can collect that, easily compile lists, and then send those lists off to the semifinal hosts. The host can take those lists of people who are interested, who are actually qualified, and decide who they'd like to invite or how they want to choose to fill their slots. And they'll know who's interested in attending. And then once they get confirmation of who's going to attend, who registers, whatever, then those slots start to get locked up. And those athletes will have to make those decisions as to where they're going to compete to have their shot at the games. And now they can talk amongst themselves and try to figure stuff out, but they won't really know how many slots their semifinal is going to get until the rosters are locked. And once the rosters are locked, depending on how strong or weak your field is, you can then assign those slots based on who shows up or who's planning to show up at those events. And then the other thing is like, we picked 500 athletes, like as not a random number, but a guesstimate, because there'll be people that qualify above that either won't go. And these events are going to need backfill athletes. These events are going to need to fill where like someone decides to go team last second, someone jumps in. But yeah, for the most part, the rosters will have to be locked by X day or whatever, which is part of why we suggested to start the open a lot earlier, which they decided to do, which we saw, which was very nice. And now there's time to get through open quarterfinals, send where you want to go, and see where you get invited to go compete at.
Have you considered doing a draft?
That would be sick.
Well,
but no,
he already answered that, because if each semifinal wants their own way of doing things, which just doesn't take away from that, right? They could still do their qualification process and all that stuff. The draft takes away from their own process, right? Like Seth, I've came up with the draft. I don't know if you've heard of it before, but
I have my own draft idea, but I want to hear yours.
And it would be amazing, and I think it would bring a lot of money to CrossFit. I think a lot of people would watch it. I think it would be legitimately the biggest thing CrossFit has ever seen. That's an off season, or not off, but like doesn't have to. It would be the greatest change of all time. But organizers will take whoever the athletes pick in the draft. Like they don't have their own process. The draft is the process, right? And
First in the open quarterfinals.
Yeah,
gets to go
basically first in the
That'd
quarterfinals.
be cool.
Like say Jeff Adler gets first, right? And then it goes down to, if you guys, it goes down to like the top 50 people or 100. Really, let's go 50 people. Just 50 people. Okay, 50 guys and girls each. 50 picks. After that, the self-selection process happens. But first person in quarterfinals, say Jeff Adler, he makes his first pick. This is live. It's at 2 p.m. Eastern. Everybody FaceTimes or Zooms in, or you could go to headquarters if you want to. Just like make it a big thing. If
Are we streaming it live?
Yeah, you're streaming it live. There's a pre-show. There's all this.
Everybody's
stuff.
wearing suits,
and then there's a leaderboard, or there's not like a leaderboard, but like a board where you have Syndicate, NorCal, Rebel Games. At all of the semifinals, just 7 of them up top, 10 of them up top, wherever there is. Say Jeff picks Syndicate. His name goes under Syndicate. Now the first lady picks. Say it's Amy Kringle, right? She picks NorCal. Her name goes to NorCal. And you just see the slots light up. You get 3 minutes to make your pick. If you miss your allotted draft time, you go to the back of the line.
20 hours, John.
I was just thinking that's a long time.
It is 1 day of the draft, but you say Jeff, his time is at 2:03, right? And then somebody, let's say Ellie Turner's 16th. Her time is at 4:22. And you have your time. If you don't come in and make the pick, you're gone. Yeah.
Auto pick.
It goes to the next pick.
I don't hate it. I'd be entertained as hell.
Yes, it is long. You'd have to do
let him keep talking. You'll get there.
But and then you can cut it off if you think it's too long. You can do the math on how long each pick takes.
30
right?
seconds.
No, you can cut it off at top 20. You know what I mean? But then you literally see real time. And think of if somebody takes your pick, like say you wanted to go to Syndicate, but then 5 people ahead of you went to Syndicate, you're not going to Syndicate. You know what I mean? If you want to make the games, right? And then,
hey, can I just say this? It sounds like it gives people near the bottom of 50 the biggest advantage, because then they could choose where they don't want to go based on where the best athletes went.
Right. But it's, you still get to pick where you want to go. No, it's not.
Reverse
okay.
it.
I'm just kidding.
Reverse it. Adley goes last.
No,
maybe.
No. You can pick where you want to go, but you don't have the opportunity to. If you want to say that's an advantage, you can. I don't think that's an advantage.
What if you want to be a free agent?
Well, I think you make it go to the. You can just not do your pick. If you don't want to make that decision, then you just don't make your pick, right? But I think you make it something where you made the draft, it's an opportunity. If you're fit enough, the top 50 people. It's a badge of honor to make the draft. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And then it's this live thing. You can hype it up all you want. And then the athletes make their pick. You see it real time, who goes where. And at the end of 50 people, it's just, the athletes fill out a survey, or you do the qualification process after the fact, or whatever. You do that after.
I like the complete just randomness of every semifinal having their own way of doing it.
But you could hype it up, you could do whatever, you know what I mean? It's there's a lot of stuff you could do with it.
You've spent a lot of time thinking about it, and I actually really like your creativity. I'll say that.
But it's never going to happen.
No, I mean,
it's not going to happen, but I really like it.
Organizers can't do what they want to do. He said that in the beginning. Stuff is impossible because of that.
Seth, I know you're a great boss.
All right. So one in-person semifinal. Have any athletes reached out to you and said they don't like this?
No, not specifically.
Name names.
But no one has really. But if they did, it's only going to be the higher level athletes. And so my job is not just to represent the 30 that, or potentially 40 that make the games. It's all the athletes that want to compete in the sport. And there's going to be a lot more who made semifinals that are what the hell? Someone reserved 4 slots and I didn't get to compete live. And I was in the top 500 this year. That. There's way more of them than athletes that are going to get butthurt about only getting to compete once.
Yeah. I do like the idea of saying all right, by, I don't know, April 1st, the rosters have to be locked.
Yeah.
Because
that would be incredible.
What we had to see and watch with Syndicate and NorCal, and NorCal didn't even have its field filled because people ended up going to Syndicate at the last minute and didn't tell Ben and Blair. Sometimes not at all. Syndicate had the same issue. There were 2 guys I think that ended up competing at NorCal. One was a no-show, and one told them that Wednesday, right? And they just had to have they're lucky to have 2 guys that were high enough that could fill them in. Yeah. So having that kind of locked in, we know the rosters, we have it set. You know who you're competing against. It's done. It's not waiting for a workout to come out. It's not cherry picking. It's not screwing over the next athlete because you just ranked higher. I do like that a lot.
And I think what would be interesting is you might see things certain events releasing their workouts early as like a carrot to get athletes to choose their events, and others
Hunter
who
was a
decide to
big
keep
fan.
it and others to keep it completely secret, and you don't even know what you're getting yourself into. You just know what weekend you're competing at and where you're going. Because again, these event organizers get to kind of play by their own rules in a lot of ways. So that would be just an interesting wrinkle as to who's going to give us stuff to talk about and who's going to keep it secret.
Mm-hmm. The next one, increase the number of athletes who qualified to the CrossFit Games from in-person events, leaving only 1 to 2 athletes to qualify from online semifinals. You kind of mentioned this earlier. 38,
I love these middle two,
39
by the
would
way.
go to in-person versus the online piece.
I think that's technically tied into recommendation number 2. Again, I think the AI notes like made up their own 6 or 7 based on it. It's all tied together. Everything's tied together, so it's okay. So the next recommendation, so we did number 3, which was 1 opportunity to qualify at a live event. You could still do the last chance qualifier. And then number 4 was, we don't need to spend much time on this because we've already talked about this for like 90 minutes. CrossFit HQ should seek out new semifinal event organizers, even at an affiliate level. And we know that they're already working on that sort of thing. Dave has made that very public. And there are other longstanding events that are interested in becoming semifinals that have been much smaller in scale in the past, but have a good reputation that could end up being semifinals in the future. I have no inside knowledge as to what these events are. I know nothing about which events are on their list, but I know that they are.
If there is an organizer who is interested, how do they put their hat in the ring?
I think they just reach out to the games team and say, "Hey, I've had this event. I heard you talking about semifinals. I want to be a semifinal." I think they have a list that they've been compiling, from what I can tell.
Okay.
I have no info other than that.
Got it. Do you know how many that they'd like to have? Like, is there a limit? Like, we're at 10 for the individuals right now.
We suggested, our basic suggestion was probably only somewhere between 1 to 3 new ones for next season if they were going to do this, and use that first season of these as like a pilot program to see what sort of protocols you're putting in place and like what guardrails you're building for these events to become semifinals. And then what you learn from the first season of bringing on potentially a local event in someone's massive gym as a semifinal, and continuing to like build that out for future events that want to do it. So our basic idea was, hey, I know you want to do this. Please don't let 10 gyms do this, because it's going to be an insane first year if you do. Yeah. And I mean, whatever, if they do, like whatever, but our suggestion was start small and see how it goes.
We're very good at trials. We're very good at overcorrecting. We've shown that in the past.
And then the last one, at least on my list, or what AI put out, you said increase the games athletes up to 40, knowing that this would mean athlete cuts would be part of the games competition.
Yeah, that one fell back into recommendation 2 as well. The biggest,
you're gonna have to sell me on this.
I'm glad to. The biggest pushback from HQ on upping from 30 to 40, we didn't suggest more than that, but 40 is the logistical issue of getting athletes through the games. Obviously, this year with 20 events, having even just 10 more athletes in both the men's and women's field would have been basically impossible with how stacked and packed those days were. Just like the turnover, the extra time it takes to get those extra heats through, it just would not have happened. And that's totally understandable. But we also know they've made that clear. They're not doing that again. They will trim it down next year in terms of volume and number of events. But 40 athletes gives more slots to more semifinals. So either you have more semifinals that have slots to award, or the current semifinals have more, I call it the dangling carrot. They have more of those carrots to hang out there and say, hey, come to my event. All the way to 5th place, all the way to 6th place is getting to the games. And you're going to get more athletes that want to participate live. Hopefully I think that's the long-term goal, is to get this much further away from doing more online competition and much more in person, and having more opportunity in person encourages more live competition. So that's number 1. The cuts themselves, I don't think are a big deal. So if you took the 10 athletes that hypothetically would have made the games from 31 to 40 this year in both the men's and women's side, and told those 10 athletes, or asked those 10 athletes, hey, You qualified, you earned a spot, but there's a chance by the end of the day Saturday or midday Saturday, you're going to be cut, your weekend's going to be done. Do you think any of those 20 total athletes would say, nah, I don't want the opportunity, I'm not going to gamble and lose my weekend? No chance. Every one of those athletes is still going to accept their game slot and go fight, even if they know they're near the bottom, to finish in 29th and make that. Yeah, absolutely. No one's going to turn down the opportunity. So the people that push back on cuts drive me nuts, because they're speaking for the athletes that can put themselves out there and take the chance or have their breakout season that no one saw coming. To just say, oh, it's unfair to have cuts. Unfair to who? Like the people that want those game slots are going to go lay it out there. And if they don't do well and they don't, they're not relevant after 2/3 or 3/4 of the competition, good try. Try again next year.
So
I go ahead, Tyler. I think we have the same problem.
Well, for years, I've always said that I like the 40 athlete field because for me, P-score, you want more variance. You want people who can get in there and throw in, that everybody's good at their weird little event. And crazy enough, Dave actually did the programming I've been wishing for the longest time this year, in which 40 would have been really entertaining because people are really good at weird things. Like you throw Sam Dancer into the total, it totally changes everything, right? And you're going to have that with the gymnastics. You're going to have that with the sprint. You're going to have that with all that.
Definitely.
The issue that I don't like about cuts is that it limits those weirdos out of the field later in the week who cause disruption, right? This is weird. Like this is real niche baseball talk, but that's why I don't like it.
They wouldn't have been there in the first place.
Right. So going into it and keeping the flat 30, I actually like better than having 40 and cutting to 20. So my issue is about where the
I don't want to cut to 20.
That's my issue.
You just said there would be cuts.
Right.
You didn't say 20.
Cuts opens the door for, well, I don't really like 30, so let's just cut it down to 20. So my fear is opening the door.
Sure. This is a logistical compromise, basically. Like,
sure,
I'm cool with no cuts, but we know that it's much easier to have some of the more mass start events earlier in the weekend, just based on how they've done things in the past, where you can more easily accommodate groups of 40 athletes, things like that, or 2 heats of 20 athletes better. And then when you get deeper into the weekend, you see the more CrossFit style workouts, you see some of the different things come up on Saturdays and Sundays that can be slightly more challenging logistically. And so my point is, I would rather pump up these semifinals and get them just like hopping with athletes that want to participate, fans that want to come watch their athlete qualify for the games or take a shot at it, and have the 10 of them on each side miss out on Sunday to appease the logistics of HQ putting on the games.
Yeah,
That's
much rather seen Nate Ackerman be in that list of 31 to 40 because Syndicate got an extra spot and give him a chance to shine.
Absolutely.
At the games versus get it cut out.
Yep.
That's where I'd rather have it.
Me too.
Okay. And for me, and I'm sure you think differently about this, but I'm okay with.
You shouldn't start with something like that. You shouldn't say I'm sure you think differently. You should just put it out there and see what happens.
How it's going to go. I'm okay with not having a Nate Ackerman for the sake of not having 5 Benjamin Reyeses. And I think it's more likely that we would. I think
look at the athletes that missed.
That we would have that type of stuff going on, because history has shown us that there's irrelevant people near the bottom of the field. I think we'd have more irrelevant people than people who would make a difference.
No, because that's based, if you use the strength of field based on the current year, you're going to have the fields proper. What happened in the past was you gave Asia 2 or 3 because of Dahant, and you gave Copasur or South America.
If you could promise me that those regions get 1 athlete, then I'm fine with it. But I don't think
it depends on who. Depends on how they do in opening quarterfinals.
What if Hatfield decides he wants to go to Asia? That's a semifinal. That's
fine. I just in the past, and maybe it works out. Like maybe the way the strength of field thing fixes it. But in the past, when you have 40 people, there is quite a few, and I'm not going to say 10 because I don't think there's 10, but I would say 7 that are happy to be there, have made no contribution to messing up the top of the leaderboard. And it was better that there were less people. Now, that's kind of cold to those people, sure, but nobody watches the first heat for a reason. And I think the first heat was very entertaining this time around. I don't know. I'm always going to feel that way. I think you have people that mess it up in the top 30 that are in the top 30 that can get top 10s, 30 to 40. We're getting worse and worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, the cuts make such a good story. It gives more people
Well,
opportunities.
and then if we're cutting,
That's the problem.
Like, think about 2023. Hopper's gone. We've been talking about Hopper getting cut in 2023 for 3 years now. It's still a story.
God,
If he had just,
Brant and Pat
he
both got
chose
cut.
to get cut. Yeah, but they were cutting
it
the
doesn't
top
matter.
10 for
It doesn't
Brent
matter.
and Pat.
He got cut. If there weren't cuts, he would have just limped along the whole time, and it would have been like, oh, he just sucked. He got cut is a bigger storyline.
Yeah, my issue is not with the cuts. My issue is not with the cuts. Like, I'm fine with cuts. Like, you know what you sign up for. Like, and if you're not in the top whatever by the time it gets cut, like, you know that going in. You sucked, right? I do think they should have a decently rounded test before the cuts. So, like 2019, when they didn't lift anything, and then they cut to the top 10, and you got 3 girls who can't lift the first barbell. I think there's a little bit of an issue with that. But that was only 1 year, and like they were under crazy constraints. But like, I do think it puts an onus to have tested somewhat everything before the cuts. You know what I mean? Not a fully rounded test, but a little bit rounded. Like,
Yeah, I agree with that. I think everyone would agree with that. The issue is none of us will have any say on the programming ever. Like, that will not be something that we're going to be able to participate in. I don't believe.
I'm not trying.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is we just have to believe that if this is going to be the system they adopt, we just hope for the best, that they think about those things, because we talk about those things.
And then we get to talk about it, whether it is or is not.
That's true too.
I don't know if we do though, Finn. I've got history saying we don't.
I mean, we don't ever shut up. I think we talk about a lot
We
of
will
things.
talk about it. Whether or not we get to go,
Like-
whether we get to watch and talk about it in person or not, that's a different story.
You hear me with that though? Like, I have problems if you're telling me just trust that the programming is going to be there, because
Have a little faith,
it hasn't been in other years.
We just got to wait and see.
And I
bro.
thought this
Just
year was
wait and
great,
see.
by the way, Seth.
Wait
I
and
thought
see.
this year was great. I
Yeah.
do. Like, you could have cut up to the first day, and I thought it would have been fine if you wanted to do
True.
cuts.
Yeah, for sure.
I enjoyed this games thoroughly, but if you're saying just trust that it will be good, I have an issue with that.
That's fine. We could have a whole episode on whether you trust what the test brings for the fittest on earth. That's a crazy topic that we could talk about forever. And you're right. Like, you have an issue with it, but sometimes you got to let go and just accept that we don't get to be the creators of the test. We're along for the ride.
But we're setting it up where, like, I'm a fan of everybody having the whole test. And with 40 people, and you're like, we'll cut it. Like, that's cool. Like, cuts make us allow us to have 40 people and then have a full test. But those 10 didn't get one. Hold on.
Short break here. The code is SPIN.
Always
Say
spin.
15%.
Just code spin.
Caps lock, I'll spin.
You don't have. I don't even think you have to.
I guess like what
we don't do
Tyler's
numbers
saying,
here.
you open the door to other possibilities of having problems. You also get what you're saying. You get the joy of stories, because right up against that cut line, I know Sam Briggs selling herself on the toe to bar running workout where she ended up 4th, but knew she needed to win to make the cut. Like, those are great stories. You get those, but then you also open the door to other problems. I think.
Potentially. Yeah, sure.
It'll be fine. It'll be better.
I have like 5-6 minutes left. There's 3 recommendations we didn't touch. Can I give them to you as I
Let's
have
hear
written
them.
down, and then you
Yep.
guys can choose what you want to talk about?
Speed run. The Kessel run.
All right. So number 5, we believe that quarterfinals revenue should have a percentage based and a transparent split between HQ and semifinal event hosts. So some of the funds that come in from quarterfinals can be used to help with some of those red tape costs at these semifinal events. And I think if CrossFit I actually found out they do that a little bit already for some events. So I found that out. But I just suggested,
wasn't
hey,
transparent.
if you're doing correct, make it transparent, get people behind you. So more sign up for quarterfinals, generate more revenue, and build these events up. So that
100%
Thank you.
support that.
We talked
Yeah.
about that one a month or two ago. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Number 6, individual semifinals should be uniformly a 2-day competition with 5 to 6 scored events. We said this because we want the semifinals, if they're new, to have an easier time hosting these events in terms of the logistics of the athletes going there. It's one less travel day for athletes and fans. It's easier to get 2 events done. Events done in 2 days if you keep the programming on the simpler side, which CrossFit would have to do or at least assist with some of these semifinals in terms of execution and not screwing things up, because you can't let the semifinals just outduel each other in more and more challenging workouts. That just becomes a bit of a mess. But keeping it 2 days also allows some of the other events to then host masters and teams and other things in some of the other days. So logistically wise, we said, individuals have their 5 or 6 events over the 2-day window, you can still get a really good test in. You can still find the people to go to the games. You don't need the 3rd day. And then you have other days either to host other categories, other, age group teams, whatever, or you can just have a smaller event because we're trying to add more events. And then number 7, this kind of goes with that. CrossFit should lean into age group and teen live semifinals as a way to improve competition and generate more overall participation. And that's 5, 6, and 7.
Is there a current, you have to have 3 days worth of an event now?
No, there's no standard. You could have 2 to 3 days. You can do what you want with your event.
So then I don't really think it's worth, this is just my 2 cents. I don't really think it's worth creating a standard to say you need to have, or you can only have 2. Like if Mayhem wants to run 3, because it is going to have programming impacts, like 2 days versus 3 days. So if Mayhem wants to have 3 days, they can have 3 days. But if you only want to do 2, you can have 2. Just no one set that precedent yet. The precedent is 3 days. Has been that way forever. I don't know of anybody who's ever done a 2-day event at a semifinal / regional
Mayhem's done
level.
2 days.
Mayhem did.
Yeah,
Really?
Mayhem did.
A year ago.
Okay.
And I always thought it was weird that Rebel Renegade Games had a gazillion events, and then I come to realize that they're kind of looking at it as the African CrossFit Games.
Right.
It's for everybody in Africa to go compete and kind of have a big thing. So I'm not sure that would be probably one that I would probably strike if I was going to say, just from a standpoint of teams trying to combine, trying to say, if you want to do teams, you have to do it before that, on a Thursday, Friday, and then individuals would be Saturday, Sunday. I don't know how that would work fan wise, logistically. That could be challenging, because I think having teams and individuals at Syndicate worked well. When you add the masters into it or the teens on top of it, we saw how hard it was at Legends. French Throwdown, I think, did it well. Touring did it well, but they also have multiple fields of play.
Much
Right.
bigger.
Yeah, I guess the fear we all had when we were talking about opening it up for all these new potential semifinals to come in is when you start to see the programming in years past. One semifinal has these challenging movements and these challenging weights, and the other semifinal goes, I can make it 3 days and I can make it crazier. And some other semifinal goes, I'm going to run mine Thursday through Sunday, and it's going to be 8 events. It's going to be crazy. So this is just kind of to create a conversation to say, let's put it in a box, at least to an extent. So athletes, no matter where they end up going, know they're going to be within this window. Maybe the window's 2 to 3 days.
I think
maybe the events is 5 to 7 events. I don't know, but trying to get some sort of standardization before the field grows from 11 semis to 15 semis to 19 semis, and then it's out of control, sort of thing.
Yeah,
I'm okay with setting a cap.
I think it makes
days.
sense to have that up front.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, when the rule book comes out, whatever, January 1st or whatever, this is what it is. These are the dates. This is how many events you're going to have, etc. So that you can make a choice. I don't want to go to Africa and compete on 12 events.
Right.
I want to go to Mayhem and compete in 2 days.
Right.
Or I want to go to the new gym one that's going to be 2 days, 5 events. That type of thing where you have a little bit of a choice versus I don't know until they tell us. Right. And at NorCal, you don't know until Friday night.
Right.
Thursday night, right? Like I think you need to at least give people an update of like, here's what you're
The parameters.
into. Here's what you're
Yeah.
walking into. You can choose what you want to do. And I'd be a lot cooler with that.
And that's fine. That's a fine way to do it too.
Yeah.
I like the idea of setting a precedent though, for sure. Like for every semifinal to operate under.
So where does it stand now? Like, obviously Dave said we'll take that back. I mean, is there a plan for him to tell you what they're going to do, or is it you just basically going to find out when the rest of us do?
No, these topics will continue to come up in different meetings, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, maybe you're right. Maybe they'll just say, "Hey, we liked your idea. We're doing that. We didn't like the other 6, so go away." Yeah. But we actually know just from a number of meetings that in a lot of these ways we are in somewhat of alignment in HQ. I think a lot of times they give us, their thoughts without giving us any of the background. Like that just it's kind of been the playbook for them forever. A lot of times we've never been able to see behind the curtain for years and years and years, and we're seeing a little more now, and they're a little more open with us in the meetings, which is really nice. And if these, if some of these points hit with them and they go, oh, that solves this problem, or that makes a lot of sense for this, and we can continue to make recommendations that they can kind of absorb and apply, and we all feel like it's, taking things in the right direction. We're starting to get little wins. That's great. But B, I think it gives the community a vote of confidence that says, hey, we actually do influence, what we want to see. We actually, when the next election comes up for the next, CAC members, we actually will take it serious, and we'll pick people that are going to go in there and do the research and put stuff together, and people that, share similar things. I think that we needed to step up and say that, we're doing something, we're listening, we're taking it serious. And so these are the 7 things we can immediately recommend. We'll see what you guys do with them, and then we'll see how next year starts to play. And then we'll probably have 5 to 8 more recommendations next year. So
I like I like that all of this is getting talked about. I think
because if they listen or not.
Well, yeah. I also trust, speaking of trust and faith, I do have faith in Seth. I think him and I I think we all share a lot of the same ideas. So I like the direction, even with the 2 days. I don't love that idea, but I like that the intent behind talking about that is the right direction.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I'll say, there are no ideas that if they happen, I wouldn't be fine with. I have preferences, but you could do 40 athletes and cuts, and I'm fine. It's nothing is we shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? And a lot of it, I'm we absolutely should do that.
Yeah. Awesome,
yeah.
Seth. Well,
thanks.
I appreciate it.
We spend a lot of time working on it. So yeah, I'm glad you guys like it. So
hopefully they implement it. We know the open date's already a little bit early. So at least that's going our way, and hopefully we'll find a little bit more about the rest of the season. So thanks a lot.
Awesome.
And
thanks for having me on, guys.
Yep.
All right. Bye, guys.
Cool.
Seth Page, guys. Spokesman of the CAC. Good
CAC
stuff.
Commander.
Moving on, we're behind schedule, but it's a good chat with.
Are we ever really behind
it's
schedule?
Good. It's good.
It's let's cutting into how right John was. I know John wants to spend a lot of time talking about that.
I think we need 3 minutes.
Okay. Well, we got time then. First off, I want to say hi to Big Cat's in the house.
What up, Big Cat?
That's right.
Booty Cat also gave us some money earlier.
Yeah, Booty
there
Cat.
You go.
Booty Cat, $4.99. First, thanks for the donation. JY, do you have an ebook for your running program?
I do not. Everything is in an Excel sheet. I can email you the running program that I made for myself. A lot of fartlek intervals. My track people will know what that means. You
too can run a 5:58
has
mile.
no idea.
Sounds terrible.
But yeah, just tell me to email. I can email it to you for $50.
$50.
That's a good deal. That's a good deal. All right, we are going to. Everybody liked the tier ranking last time, whether you liked it or not. I'm going to say you did. And so we are going to go through a whole bunch of things from this year's CrossFit Games, and we are going to tier rank it. I don't have how you should do it. You just got to know whether it's S tier, A
It's
tier,
vibes.
E tier.
Vibes.
So people are gonna get pissed. Got it.
Yep, that's how it's gonna work. All right, first up, you see down there in the bottom, we have the Hopper workout, the 2026 Hopper workout, the one that was programmed by Tia, that we all voted on. Some voted for it, some voted against it. We thought it should have been the other one.
I'll say B. I feel like it was just there.
I will
That's what I would
say
say
B.
C.
The only reason I'm going to say B is because I did some correlation analysis, and it was one of the higher correlated,
Hirely.
correlated events
Wow.
to the overall finish.
I want to say C because it doesn't matter. I'm getting outvoted, but I do want to voice this. Her workout at 125, way better, way
115.
more exciting. It was 125.
Spin.
It was 115, or no, it was 115.75,
I thought it was 115.
I think. Maybe 125. I can't remember.
Either way, hers is more exciting because people were going to have to be forced to probably explode. And like either
They would never have finished in 6 minutes.
Yeah,
though.
well,
That's
hers is
fine.
like 3 people are finishing, and I would have rather that.
yeah.
That's fair. The next one, day one, Wednesday. The workouts of day one. Just day one in general.
Okay. The workouts, I don't think were bad. The broadcast, jabs, dealings,
Oh, jeez.
the barrel roll, I'm saying
The
good
live
things.
chat.
I'm saying good things. Like a lot of day one was bad. Not knowing who people are, a lot of day one was bad. But I don't think the workouts were that bad.
So
what is this one exactly?
This is day one. This is Wednesday.
Just day one. So
Day
in its
one.
totality,
There's so much bad feelings about it though.
it was a mess.
Yeah.
Logistically, shuttling people back and forth, doing that whole
the
thing
bike
for
was probably
seemingly
a mess,
no
too.
reason.
Yeah.
The broadcast was off. It was not their best ever.
I'll say D.
But the programming does kind of save it, even though I think the bike,
I thought
Well-
the bike was a miss too.
I thought it was cool. It could have been way cooler than it was.
Sure.
Like
that's
it
how-
was hitting a single. Where it could have been like easily a double or triple if they just changed like one or two things. And the rest of it, like the run was fine, but we didn't get to see that much. And then what was the swim?
Mhm.
And
The
then
swim was fine. The total, the run, and
the total was a tragedy.
I don't like scoring the total how they scored it. I went like just seeing how that all panned out. Wasn't a fan of that.
We
and
got to
that-
see none of the total.
You
None
got to
of
see
it.
Aniel because the
Yeah.
camera guy was like fixated on it.
We saw Foliano a lot.
Yeah, because that camera dude was on the outside in the second.
Yeah. I like D. I like D. Yeah, I'm
think
fine
D
with
is-
E. I'm fine with E, but I like D more. I
I'm
will
picking
not stand
E.
for
I'm
either
picking
of those
E.
two letters.
But you guys can.
Okay,
outweigh
I'll
me
say
if you want
D. It's been says E, and I'll let Tyler be the tiebreaker.
Shit, guys. I'm going to say E. Even though I do want to say, like, there are things about it. Like, we're doing it all at once, so I think it's getting grouped in. But it's like there are cool things about day one. It's just like,
Well,
dude,
that's
there
why
was
I
so
thought
much wrong with day
Here's
one.
here's why I would say E. The first day, the first event, the first couple hours sets the tone for the games.
Yeah.
Probably the most people tune in at the very beginning to see what it's like. I had friends who just do CrossFit. They don't, friends of my wife, etc., who have gotten into it because we've talked about it, right? They're just mainly gym goers. They did not buy Flow Elite because of the first few events that were on YouTube. They're like, I don't know what's going on. I can't understand it. I don't know who's leading. I'm just seeing one person. Why am I going to spend $30? I'm a super casual viewer that really has never watched the games before.
Yep.
Why am I going to go spend $30 on Flow Elite? If it had great production value, a leaderboard, like the scoring was late, like there was a lot of things that fell through the cracks that I think created like confusion. People didn't want to pay the $30. We saw it. Like people didn't want to pay the $30. People weren't going to want to pay anyway, but don't give them a reason to.
Sure.
Right.
And that's what I would say is
did we talk about this on the show? Like the old the desk show version, like the 2014 through probably 18 we had the desk show where it was like you go to the desk and then they go to the games and then they come back to the desk and then they go back to the games. That set the tone so well for the entire games. It made it feel like a sport where it was just like 3, 2, 1. CrossFit Games are live, and it was like
that'd be a comment I have on the whole thing is that throughout the entire weekend, we'd be watching the still cam saying coming up, and then you'd see on the jumbotron of the stadium the athletes running onto the floor, and you're like, "Are we gonna start?"
Yeah.
And then it was like, "All right," and Sean Woodland's like, "We're back. We're getting ready to start," and it was like 3, 2, 1, go. There was no like after the intros, watching them run onto the floor, giving a preview what's happening. It was like, beep, we're going. Here's the workout, and we're going. It didn't feel like if you didn't know what was going on, you had zero clue. Like, what has happened? Oh, we're starting. Okay, what is this thing? What are they doing? Like, if you understood CrossFit, it's fine.
What's funny is I felt bad because it was probably the worst Sean and Chase have ever been. And
well, day one was impossible because they were off site.
Right.
Watching what we were watching.
It's not their fault. Right. And it appeared amateur, but it's not their fault that it was amateur. But if you would have thrown anybody into the production truck and said, commentate on nobody was doing, no. Yeah.
You had no chance.
They really set them up for failure. I hear you spin about the first event, but tell me when the first event did blow everybody away. It's usually always just a long, boring event.
In the 20th anniversary or the 20th year of the games, it should blow everybody away.
You wanted it. I hear you, but most of the time it's a swim or a run. Most of the time.
I mean, I would say, yeah, it might be a long, slower event, but the coverage was better. And you weren't putting part of it behind the paywall where you're asking people to like pay an extra $30.
Yeah.
Where that's super important to do it.
I tell you what, everybody
like,
wanted
go
to
look at
run.
Go look at 2017. Go look at 2017's first event coverage. It was the run.
It was great.
Swim, run. Like it was great. You understood what was going on. You know who was winning. All of that was fantastic.
No,
you didn't get any of that.
I get sad when I look at like the old coverage because it feels like 10 years ago it was it's better than now.
It was amazing.
I don't know like how or why it feels so.
Where's Banana Dance Man?
That
we
regressed over 10 years. You know what I mean? Like just even the video quality looks different. Like, and I don't know why. Like everything feels better. If you like, go look it up right now.
It's because they don't wear polos anymore, John.
2017, like go look up those games right now.
You don't have Pat Sherwood and polo.
Vicky might be right. It's Reebok
old run.
I hate to admit that, but I that's the issue.
Like
what sucks is actually like the broadcasting cost as far as to produce that probably way down.
Be coming down in relative to
and we should be able to pull it off, but I think we've set a standard that we can't do it. We think we can't do it.
Well, we could do it. $50K.
That's it.
That's my price.
All right. Next up, you see him down there in the bottom, Barack Obama Boulevard.
I'm just gonna rate his presidency, and I'm gonna say
it's the Boulevard. It is the Boulevard.
A C.
It is the Boulevard.
I feel so indifferent on this.
It was the run, right? That's all that mattered for the individuals was the run.
I mean, they did the run, hang, squat, clean. They did the 500-meter run. The teams did the big bob push, the handstand walk. They did a 5K out around the whole stadium.
It
was the new North Park. It was
I just could not care any less than I do. So I say C.
I heard the atmosphere, the first night the teams were out there was amazing. We don't know that because we weren't
It was
there.
just fixed camera
Like
watching,
everyone
floating,
else. So I
Well,
would
they
say
weren't showing it. It was just a talking heads covering up what was actually happening, which also pissed a whole bunch of people off.
for as many times as Barack Obama Boulevard got name dropped, like it's like when you go to a restaurant and you think it's incredible, and then you tell your friend, like, dude, you have to go to this restaurant. It's amazing. And then they go and they're like, it's
Applebee's.
fine. It's Applebee's. Yeah, it's Applebee's. Like you screwed it up. You don't say it that many times. So I'm gonna give it a D.
Okay, Spin's gonna be the tiebreaker.
I'm giving it a D. I would have
So
liked
far,
to see him,
I've ranked everything higher than you all. Everything.
that's because you're Mr. Positive, John. I would have liked to have seen him use the stairs.
Yep.
Stairs would be cool.
Like Dave teased, oh, this might be cool to go up and down the stairs. Why not?
Mhm.
Like,
Just
why didn't
thought
we
that
do
and
that?
said it.
Right, like we missed out. Stacy W. It was hard to watch in person. Only so many people could fit in the front or second row. That's fair. I mean, we weren't there, so we won't know. Next up,
Kyle
The
Dodson
programming-
feels very passionately that it's an F.
the programming,
Hmm.
the overall programming.
So S tier's greatest games of all times.
Yep.
It was not the greatest games of all time, but it did so many things that I like. He ventured into doing things that I've always wanted him to do. So I'd give it an A.
I'm a B.
I like niche events.
I'm a B.
Explain your reasoning, Spin.
It was fine. There was nothing. There were not a whole lot of close races. Like we didn't get running Isabel where that was like super exciting. There was just, I think as a whole, it tested and we got like, it did what it needed to do. But I think the excitement factor of it, and sometimes it's just up to the athletes, but we didn't get as much excitement of like back and forth battles. We didn't get last year's, what was it, the treadmill, deadlift, handstand walk with Tia and Lucy. We didn't get running Isabel with Jason failing to lift. Like there was nothing of that nature, so I'm giving it a B.
So I think the placement of certain workouts could have been in different places, and you would have gotten that excitement. Because we did have races, they were just like in not important moments, and then when the moments got important, we didn't have races anymore, right? I think the machine workout was a big miss. I don't know why it's there, but I feel like the last two games inflates this a little bit.
God, I should have put this on Spin Spin.
What?
This entire thing.
Oh, you should have. That would have been really. And let's let the crowd vote before we go,
Yeah.
or let the crowd vote, but we don't want to
Yeah.
look at it.
That'd be wild.
And I thought the game was relatively balanced. I thought there was way too much not way too much, but it had a single modality slant, which is fine. Every game has a slant of some sorts. But I'm like Tyler. I really like that we ventured off into weird things. And some are misses and some are makes, but you don't ever get anything awesome if you're afraid to do, off the wall stuff sometimes. So I'm between a B and an A. I feel like I want to say B plus.
B or A.
That averages to B.
Can we put it in the middle?
No, you gotta pick.
Okay. Then I think we should do a poll with the audience.
Make an
You
assessment.
gotta make a pick, John. You gotta make it pick.
I'll say B.
Oh,
That's why he didn't want to do it.
you didn't want to be negative. All right. Next up.
Well, real quick, what would we say A?
What do you mean?
What games is an A? I'll say
2014, 2015.
You only know S?
S tier. Yeah, those are S tiers. There's like 6 S tier games. And it's funny because those aren't even like my
What is
favorite
an A
programming
tier?
games.
I think 23 was an A or S tier.
Yes.
I think 23 would be an A tier.
A
Yeah.
tier.
I think-
2022 was A or probably
Yeah,
A.
yeah.
2017, 2018, 2014 was probably S.
Okay. I'm fine with this at B then.
Next up, Flow Elite. What do we think about the good old Flow Elite?
Hi, dude. I mean, I'm gonna say C.
I don't even want to rate it.
Yeah. Like I'm uncaring.
It's so weird. I can't get over how weird it is. Like, they offered nothing. They were just hosting it. Something that the games could have done on YouTube is make it paid. You just do a paid live stream. Obviously, all they've done is give them a big bag of cash. It offered nothing to the stream. And it actually, no, I'm rating it an F because there's no live chat.
That's the reason.
That's the reason.
There is no live chat. I think that they could have done. I mean, Flow Elite's
You gave
giving the-
$25K to
Here's
the
the thing.
athletes?
Here's the thing. We already said, like, just put it on CrossFit's. Be a member of CrossFit Games YouTube channel. Flow Elite is giving money to CrossFit. That's going to be what they believe less than what they're going to make from getting the $30 subscription.
And there is no barrier between you and what they think is more than what they're paying,
Right.
besides YouTube's cut.
So no chat, that, and just we're now seeing like everything's going to be behind a paywall. I'm doing E.
What's the saving grace for not F?
They're investing in the community.
They're giving CrossFit money.
You can't commit, and like people are going to harp on me for sounding negative, but it's like, it's an elevator pitch. It's like, okay, we're gonna host this thing, but we're gonna give you some cash, but like besides that, we offer nothing. We can do everything you're gonna do for yourself.
I'm going to put it as E or F, because all of the replays for those events are now on the Flow Elite YouTube channel, not CrossFit channel.
Right.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. And it's not organized.
Can they not be on
it's,
both?
It's hard to find.
I don't
the
know.
thing
They're
you
not on
want.
CrossFit's channel yet.
Oh, that's gonna annoy the fire out of me in the future. F all the way. F for the future.
My thing is, what are they doing behind the scenes?
A lot.
Maybe there's some magical thing that
Money.
all will be told or all will be understood in the future, I guess.
They gave
Maybe
us
there's
money.
some magical thing for Flow Elite that I don't know yet, but like right now, it makes 0 sense and it offers us nothing.
Next up, Masters, Teens, Adaptives, CrossFit Games.
E.
John's vote counts probably the most on this.
He was there. He had coached an athlete in the Masters division.
I don't know if the teen division is different than the Masters division or the adaptive division.
Well, they programmed
But-
the same freaking time as the games. Like nobody was paying attention to it.
Sure, for the teen and the adaptives, Masters were before.
Right. Yeah. There was no
I-
live look-ins. There was no like.
I would say
we had a
E.
whole hour. We had an entire hour between events that we just sat there and talked.
Yeah.
And like they didn't just put it on YouTube for us to like watch. And it's like, hey, here's the teens or adaptives going on. Maybe you want to go to Full Elite and watch the rest of it instead. There was
Yeah.
none of it. We didn't even know that was going on.
Magic City should have the CrossFit, should have Masters games. Like a big thing that was repeated a lot was the Magic City felt more like the games than the games.
That's
Like
crazy.
with the programming is rough for the Masters. There's only 6 events for most of the divisions. There's 7 events for the 35 to 39, and it's just workouts. Like there's nothing different. There's nothing innovative,
Just
nothing
gym shit.
creative. Yeah, like you could do them all in your gym. In fact, I programmed every single workout for the gym that week. Like there's nothing creative about it at all, and there used to be. Yeah, like the Masters used to do the same things the individuals did, just in a little bit different way. They got to do the pig. They put their hands on the snail. They did legless rope climbs. Like it's like running outside, in North Park. And I'll tell you what, the men got, this is, I'm being nitpicky here, but the men got to do a feed sack, and the women had to do a wall ball, a 30-pound wall ball, and
On the run.
it effed up the women so bad. Like their necks with that wall ball.
Yeah,
That
big
wall
old ball.
was infinitely worse than the feed sack. They said they would have taken 20 pounds more just to hold the feed sack. But
This is incredible that Lucy
yeah,
knows this. Like
but
she
Magic
just competed
City
at the games.
Magic City should be the games. I hope they give Magic City the games. Or HQ needs to take the Masters games back.
If you bring it all like truly together and not put it a mile down the road and say it's together in the same city, which it could have been in like another town, like across the country, it really didn't matter. Like, at least if you're on the same, like if it's a festival field, the reason why in Madison you could do all those things because you were all there. You shared North Park.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the equipment was there. Might as well just share it and use it. Separating it doesn't work.
No, I am most for everything being with HQ and them doing everything, and they're everybody's a part of everybody and having the festival feel. And like if we overlap sometimes, so be it. We overlap sometimes. There won't be people that watch the Master Games. I would rather treat the Masters like a JV team that plays before the real team than like a 1A high school and a 6A high school. Does that make sense? Like in games, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. In the convention center versus
correct, versus
the big
SAC
arena.
Center, right? I want the Masters to be able to do everything that the individuals are doing at some scale, whatever scaled rate you want to do, or the teens. Like that way, they're at the games. You know what I mean? They see Lucy Campbell walking around in the same warm-up area. That's like, she might not be warming up, but like they're all around each other. Like that's so, imagine the teens if they get to see their freaking idols in the same kind of area as them, or they're,
They used to.
you know,
They
they're
Used to.
like, you know, Lucy Campbell walks off of her platform and then the teens start cycling in and they're doing the same snail that she's doing. You know, that would, so I think more people would come to the games then. You know, the arena was not filled, right? And I thought the games was good for the most part. I thought it was good. The arena was not filled, right? So the best thing would be everything together. I said E.
I'm putting it E.
But if they don't come together and they want it to be separate entities, give it to Magic City. Micah has a passion for this. Like Micah wants this, and he would do the Master Games right. Nobody who went to Magic City thought it was like, everybody was blown away. Everybody. And it didn't have a ton of people there in attendance, but that competition was done right. And I can't say enough good things about Magic City. Give the games to Magic City if you're not going to come together.
Tyler, where are you putting it?
I'm fine with E. I don't want to vote on this because I don't know enough about it.
Next up, the broadcast / camera crew.
Depends on the day.
Well, this is tough because I thought after day one it was great, and I think it was different people.
It was the same crew.
Jabs wasn't there.
Well, the drone was not there. The drone wasn't there, but it was the same production company. It's the former, it's Hamilton Road. They call themselves something different at the CrossFit Games for all 4 days of that competition, or 4.5, if you want to call it the teams, whatever they did. That was Hamilton Road, or whatever they call themselves now.
I just don't understand the drop in production because Hamilton Road does it every year.
They can, it's CrossFit. They charge probably up to what CrossFit is willing to pay, and it's like there's add-ons, there's upsells, and it's like we can do a live floor show, and we can do more cameras, we can do more of this, more of that.
Like, I mean, I get that the total was hard, but don't show Aniel every single time. Don't show Lisa Fuliano.
You got to have number
like,
counters.
We know that Colton's going to be lifting a lot on the squat. We know that Mirham is going to. We know that Kyra is going to. We didn't see Mirham once. We saw Colton once.
For the total in particular. So number one, they had cameras in the wrong places. They were relying on floor cams way too much, and they should have had overhead cams or even a damn drone at something else. But that was also, the setup was terrible to be able to film it. Like, part of that was not on them.
They need to space it out a little bit more.
It was like there was no good way to film that event. And like, I love that we've done a broadcast now.
Like, we know it's that tight. They have plenty of planning.
Yes.
This is who this is. This is who this is. This is where you're going to be. You need to be on these platforms. I just don't know if the camera people even know who the athletes are.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Or have this, like, if you're going to be like this, you cannot not do the numbers up top. You have to do the leaders up top. Like, it's a non-negotiable thing. It is so bad that you don't have numbers up top to keep track of people on day one. Not just the total, every event. It's a non-negotiable thing. Secondly, if you know it's going to be like that, then have the people on the floor on the total, have those camera guys know CrossFit. Like, you need to know your best people who are the nerdiest in CrossFit. For the camera operators, they're the ones who are on the floor with the athletes because they know relatively who's going to be good and who's not. At least they could scan more. They would, you know what I'm saying? They would jump from people to people. We wouldn't be watching Annual Lakai every single lift.
Hey, CrossFit, right. I get it, but scoring was delayed worse than it ever has been. And the graphics were wrong too, which I think the scoring team is responsible for some of that. Could be wrong. I know that they in the past gave they helped feed that to the graphics that come in through it. So there's some type of connection to it. Where would you rate the broadcast?
Okay, so I would say B for the games from hold on.
I get one box.
I know. I would say B from not day one on, and then F for day one. So that's going to balance out to D.
Tyler?
C.
I'm going to go C.
All right.
The graphics are important. You guys can't screw up the graphics.
Yeah, I'm trying to be positive. The next one, the bopper. Where would you rate the bopper? Real quick. Where would you put the bopper?
A.
Maybe even S tier.
Maybe S tier, yeah. Big bopper fan. You know what? S. Because James not hitting his bopper. He should thank God,
tier.
Which he already has. But he should thank God again that it didn't come with Dallin beating him by 3 points, because he lost 12 points by forgetting to hit his bopper. And that is on him, and he deserves to lose the games if that were to happen. And that would have been insane if that happened. But I'm a big fan of the bopper. I don't want to rely on people at all.
CrossFit, it is strong guest, not stronger. Next up, new movements. GHD-WBs. We got the flippity-doos, roll to supports.
I'm going to say B. I don't want to dissuade them from keeping on doing it. Some were misses. Some I thought were cool. I thought the forward rolls were cool. When you saw Ariel rolling around like a Tasmanian devil, like, that was awesome, right? We do sit through heat one that can't do nothing. But I thought it was awesome. And James and Dallin basically going rep for rep the entire time. I actually thought that event was really cool. I don't like the placement of it, but I thought I enjoyed that event. Wall ball GHG, I don't care about those. I thought that was a miss. Triple unders, I don't like them, but I didn't mind it. So that whole workout was just who was the best at triple unders, though.
Yeah, that was more of a programming thing than it was the actual new movements in it.
Correct.
I'd say an A. I don't mind the new movements that were put in.
So we're ranking new movements.
Just what do you think about the new movements?
A.
Man, John's on the negative train lately.
The wall balls were the GHD wall balls were really strange and incorrectly programmed. I think they just didn't. But
they would have been fine if they would have programmed it differently.
That's what I'm saying. And
it's a new movement.
I like that we tried new stuff. I love the rings. The bag toss kind of goofy, but I still enjoyed it.
I'm good with the bag
toss. Dope. So we're good. Yeah, A.
It's gonna be tough to do this one, but the SAP Center, we weren't there, but how would you rate the SAP Center?
Visually, it looked great.
Yeah, I almost think we need a smaller arena, though. I'm gonna say C because it doesn't look good with empty seats.
I won't give it a C, but I'd give it a B.
I'm giving it a C. I still am not a huge fan of putting it inside an arena. So any arena is going to be a challenge.
Get something smaller. Make it look packed, dude.
Yeah, the Coliseum in Madison was smaller. It's I'd rather have people fighting for the seats than be able to buy them at any
You
time.
want it to sell out. Yeah.
Next one, roles to support. Just specifically
A.
the roles to support.
I say
S. That was a very exciting event.
A. You got to be great for S, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
It was pretty
I'm
great.
saying A. I'm saying A.
you got to be bopper level for S.
Bopper level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Is it bopper
They,
level?
they surprised me. I still would have programmed them differently, but I was impressed by
Who's
a
that?
little bit of the
Grant?
race.
Is that Grant down there?
That's Matt Fraser.
Oh.
That is Matt Frazier in
Grant
the
just-
Fibonacci final.
Had something happen in his pants with you calling him Matt Fraser.
Where would you put Matt Frazier announcing the Fibonacci final, putting that as the final event?
I don't know. I don't care. I'll say A, but like I don't care.
B. It doesn't take anything away, but like it was weird for anybody who knows the history of CrossFit. It's really weird. He did fine. It didn't take
It was a
anything
good announcement.
away.
He did well announcing it.
It's not like it sent it over the top and it was like incredible. And you had, it was.
I'd
it was
say
fine.
a C, so we'll average out to a B.
Oh, you didn't.
It was okay. I don't think the actual workout itself played out as well as we could have hoped.
No.
I don't think it's ever gone the way we could have hoped. I think he always wants it to be
No.
awesome, and it's never
No,
a race.
I mean, we had one in 2017,
Yeah, we had one in 2017. That's a good point.
and it was the same workout, which is interesting. Next up, the judging. What do we think of the judging?
I would say A.
I would say it was like an A or a B. I would probably say B more. There was a couple goofy things that happened, but for the most part, like I think they did all the right stuff, didn't take away from the competition. There were no huge hiccups that we were like, oh my God. Like what
No,
are
I mean,
we
we had
doing?
the Medeiros one. It sounds like that was bad. Like if you listen to Boys Interrupted, like apparently the guy didn't get to judge the rest of the time. Dallin was saying that like on the first event, the Hopper 2007 Hopper, the head judge came over and said, "Get your chin up," and then all of a sudden he just started getting no reps, and he's like, "I'm doing the same thing over like I have been doing." Like,
Yeah, I hate.
so
that.
like some of those small things, but I think to your point, like I don't think B's bad. I think they could have
No.
done some things better.
Judging's
there
never
were a
gonna be
decent amount
S.
of I don't know, but it feels like there were a decent amount of appeals,
Yeah.
which may have delayed some of the scoring too. So I'll put it down there.
That's fair, Tyler. Like you were never gonna be like, dude, they judge that so good.
Wow.
Um,
what
yeah.
amazing judging.
Justin Snatch, I would have let it's a race, and I know Tyler disagrees with me on this, but I would have let that one go. But
Well, I mean,
yeah,
it sounds
B.
like
Y'all talked
he
into
didn't
B.
get it. He didn't get it because he didn't wait for the judge's down signal, which to Justin's point was like nobody was getting the down signal.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you just
yeah.
had to go.
Right.
Like if you waited, you were screwed. Next up, jabs, and we'll add Sky King into this one.
That ended up being so legendary. I hate
think
the jabs.
It's more legendary for you than anybody else, though, Tyler.
It was really strange. The entire story is crazy. I'm sitting at my brother-in-law's house. My brother-in-law screenshots the whole conversation with jabs, and then that turns into a freaking barrel roll live on the CrossFit Games on the other side of the country. The guy gets fired. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah,
S tier.
I'm fine
definitely
with S tier.
S tier. Jabs won our heart. All right, these are three rapid fire ones real quick. We gotta get moving. Proven training camp.
Jay did great.
Ricky
Colton
did well.
Colton did what it was. I think Colton did good. B.
A. You gotta get a winner to be S tier.
It's definitely not S tier. I'm going between A and.
I don't think it's A tier. I'm a hard B.
Who did they have that did poorly?
Olivia Kerstetter did worse than she did last year.
That's John. That's
but
not
but
fair.
no,
She still
and
got
I
fifth.
hear you. Lucy McGonigal had the worst game she's ever had.
She got hurt.
Yeah, but it wasn't going good before then. She was in 25th place before.
Bailey
then.
Martin did well.
Bailey did good.
Tio wasn't there.
Ricky did worse, and Ricky should have been better. He was 5th. I mean, it's not bad.
He got 3rd and 5th.
Yeah, he was second. He was second last year. Like again, it's not bad, but they've been better. And all I'm saying with this is like I said B tier.
Yeah.
See, I think
I thought Kyra did good for herself. I'm trying to think of everybody else. Chris didn't make the games. Grace didn't make the games. Is there anybody else?
We're probably missing somebody.
Okay.
If I were
all
a
I'm
team-
saying is they've done better. And I don't think anybody is S tier unless you're brute, unless you have 2 people on the podium, right? I think S tier is 2 people on the podium. Right. One of them needs to be a champion. Callion Souza had the worst games he's ever had. And Ruben's been better. I think I'm a hard B. I don't think they did bad.
I'll go with B. You won me over, John. I was between the two. Next up, Brute.
Maddie Sturt. We were missing Maddie Sturt.
Maddie Sturt did well too.
I think Brute's an S.
No, because Dallin didn't win. So
James won, who's also
F
Brute.
tier.
I'm saying S.
Dude, they had 1st, 2nd, and 6th on the men's. And
I'm
on
not
the
going to win
women's,
this argument.
They had first,
2nd.
Do they have anybody else for the women?
No.
Any Brute adjacents? Because I know Amy's not.
Janie is the rookie.
Amy's not like a hard Brute. She's a Brute adjacent.
Yeah. Mayhem.
Bro. F.
I'm not putting them at F. They're not worse than.
Clip it.
What do we do?
They're not down there with Flow Elite at the very worst.
Austin is Haley Adams level.
I'd give them a C.
That is not a shot at Haley, but it should be a shot at Austin.
I mean, John ranked Roman as potentially podium.
I thought Roman would be better.
You guys are all too bipolar. Jesus Christ.
Gee's their best athlete.
He's an amazing athlete.
I'll say C.
God, the Black Keys are coming to Pittsburgh on August 2nd.
Focus, Tyler. Focus.
Sorry. C.
I'm fine. I'm joking with F. Like C.
The opening ceremony.
Is an F. Go
the
ahead.
opening ceremony legends coming in. Paige did well. She didn't do as well.
She was expected to do way better. Yeah,
that's right.
We didn't see the open ceremony with legends coming in, so S tier. It could be S tier. It could be F tier. We wouldn't friggin' know.
You had a bunch of athletes not show up.
C tier.
C. I'm saying D.
S
I'm saying D. It needed to be live streamed. You needed to figure out a way to get more of the winners there. I'm saying D.
D's good. D's good.
C.
If they would have televised it, if they made a thing out of it,
how many of these
awesome.
things we got, Spin?
We got the whole games, John.
John, we have 3 more hours of content we need to produce.
That's right. There's a lot going on. If you didn't talk so much, we'd be done by now. The rookies, how would you rate the
Dylan
rookies?
Hamming himself, S
Just
tier.
all rookies. All rookies.
No, just Dylan.
Nope, just rookies. How would you think the rookies did as a whole?
Great, dude. That we had so many rookie stories this year. I felt like the girls, we talked about them the whole live stream.
I'll say a B from that standpoint. I was going to say C.
C.
We only had a couple that were really doing a whole lot. None of them broke into the top 10.
Dylan was cool. He was charismatic. He was a silent assassin.
Quinn let us down.
That
the bottom
awesome.
10 was like almost all rookies.
C tier.
B.
I think we had 0 rookies in the top 10. We normally have somebody close. right? I think C tier. Like,
I want to see more Dylan Hamming.
yeah, no, Dylan was cool, but when Dylan's your best, we've been better.
Maybe Dylan's gonna be great later on. San Jose, the city, as a host.
I don't know. How do we rate that?
Well, Albany's F. I think Madison is S. I think Fort Worth was great. It's just,
Fort Worth was actually really
I think
cool.
Fort Worth was A. I'm going to say C.
I'm saying
Why
E.
C? You were actually there, John. So you said B, Spin?
E.
Why? Taxes.
It's way out there. The taxes the athletes have to eat is going to be nasty. It's not exactly like, I want a city that actually that cares that we're there.
Yeah.
Like I think there was only one happy hour, maybe. I didn't hear advertised any of that stuff. There wasn't like a big after party thing. Maybe that was just a CrossFit. Like it without being there, obviously I can't speak to completely, but I paid for a lot of stuff that I was going to have to go to do, and it was expensive. People complain about the expense of it. You picked one of the most expensive arenas around. The city could care less. There weren't even in Fort Worth had stuff at the stockyards that was CrossFit themed. The whole city of Madison was that way. I think it's better to pick a quote unquote B tier city that cares about us versus the big city. I don't want to go that. That doesn't allure me.
Which
I'm saying E.
Is why they should go to Lexington, Kentucky. But yeah, okay, fine. What'd you say, John? C?
I said C.
I'm gonna go with D.
All right.
Just to average it out.
I'm the negative one. The race for the podium, the championship, the fittest on earth, the race.
Well, the women's race was showing up after day 2. Men's race was good, but
nothing changed.
It never flip flopped at all.
Right.
It wasn't great. But I'll say B because we were excited for James and Down the whole time. I'll say B.
I always had hope Dallin was going to pull it off. And it was a stretch there at the end. But I always had hope he could pull it off. I can't give it an A or an S. And then Amy, it almost became how far can she go? How good is she really? It's not a good race, but
I'm saying C.
Oh shit, Spin. All right, C.
Almost done. Hang in there, John. Hang in there. Teams.
A.
Please define.
Whip and Mayhem had a good battle the whole way through. It was war. Whip won the first battle at Crash. Mayhem won the next battle in Syndicate, and then Whip won at the games. Mayhem was ahead the entire time until the pool event, and then Whip got ahead there and then never let it go. But they were, I think, on the last day, it's when they switched. But
yeah, it's the 2-parter.
Now, I only watched the last day, but the race was good. And I like that Whip and Mayhem went back and forth all year. And I also like that they beat Oslo Krieger because I know a lot of people thought that team was going to be the best team.
I'm saying C.
Why?
There's no focus on it. And maybe that's because you didn't have a
never
desk
gonna
show.
be
You didn't have
focused
anything
on it.
there was a big, massive race of the former Mayhem team versus the Mayhem team that was close, like John said.
Yeah.
Nobody talked about it.
It sucks because we covered the teams. We knew all the teams in Syndicate. We did all the teams' heats. And with most of the top teams, and I have never felt more disconnected.
It's fair, but to be fair, we chose not to cover them. We didn't cover them either.
But even when we didn't cover it, there was still interest in it.
There was zero coverage from the games team. That's
what I mean. There were the
Hell,
workouts
we didn't
weren't
even know the
announced.
events till
the events were never announced early. They were not that exciting. like there was a buildup that could be there, and we just never got it. I think
I watched
the
one
actual
event.
competition was good. Like between Whip and Mayhem, I think that was a great competition. That's why I'm saying it's a C. Like it's fine.
I might go lower, and it has nothing to do with the teams themselves. I might go E.
All right, so see it is. That's where it
C.
balances out. Let's move on.
John's getting impatient. We only got a couple more. The scoring.
Didn't like the scoring. I'm gonna say E.
D.
I think everything should be worth 100 points, or every single modality is worth 50 points. You can't have some and some not. It doesn't matter how long you worked or how hard something was. Everything in fitness should be tested equally. Like, who places the value on what? I don't think anybody should make that decision. Like, I don't think anybody should be in charge of making that decision, because everybody will have a different opinion, right?
I'm saying D.
I say
I'm gonna say F. The change in scoring gives you reasoning to like create weird discrepancies, and like you don't have to answer to anybody for them, and you just essentially determine what you think fitness is. And I know that Dave didn't think about it the way that other people think about it, and like really dive into the details of it. And so I'm gonna say F. It's like a super dangerous precedent to set.
That's fair. Next to it, we got 4 more. How fast can we do these? First up, women's
Speed
field
tour.
Women's field, it's not Kringle.
I would say A tier.
Everybody but Kringle.
What do you mean?
I'm saying
Performance?
I'm saying F, yeah. Saying F.
What do you mean athletically?
Just because they didn't give her a race?
Yes. This was supposed to be one of the most competitive fields, and they let Kringle just run away with it.
Yeah, but it was a lot. All of the good girls were bad at all the weird things. Like, Lucy beat her.
We thought Lucy, Emma, Alex, Paige all had a chance of winning, and Amy held the lead for the last like 7 events.
In CrossFit events, Lucy beat her in all but one. And the one she didn't beat her was the triple under workout that she just can't do. Now, should she be more prepared? Yes. But Amy,
I'm not putting this on just Lucy. I'm saying this is on everybody. Like all of the ones that were contenders, they did not give
Paige had
Amy
a freaking broken foot.
Well,
right?
Fell on a trail run 2 weeks before the game.
Alex was overhyped. My fault. And Emma was dealing with an injury for months. Like,
because she
Lucy
did WFP.
Can't freaking do the weird stuff. That's on her.
That's why they're an F, because none of them gave her a battle. None of them.
I say C.
Yeah, I'm gonna go B, because I was genuinely interested in every single female as far as what they were doing.
I don't think you can blame them that Amy just was a lot better.
I don't blame them against Tia. I blame them that this was like supposed to be the most competitive women's field that we've had. There's no clear-cut winner. And
I put that blame on us. We're wrong.
We screwed this up.
We were not.
Yeah.
Wrong. We were not.
Speed tour.
Speed tour.
C.
Pat Vellner's last games.
I'm gonna say A, because he's old. He's not as fit as he used to be. Dude, he had 2 event wins.
I'm saying A.
The triple under event was dominant. Looked like Pat of old, right? Deadlift event, got to deadlift 600 pounds. Was he the only one?
Yes.
Like, I mean, Pat had some BA moments, and he's not as fit as he used to be. Like, he is
he still did well. He still did well in the Fibonacci final. Like,
yeah, dude, he's the definition of that Toby Keith song.
I don't know what that is, but I'm saying A. Tyler?
I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. Got it. Did that.
How do you get that wrong? It was a hit for like 6 years.
Well, I messed it up the first time. Sean messed it up too. So don't get at me, because he's got the best voice in CrossFit.
You two and I, or just all 3 of us, watched the games from totally different contexts.
He even broke another
crazy.
bike.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's great.
It's crazy.
He fell from the rings. Like, he did everything he was supposed to do.
It was a D. We didn't make a deal out of it. I didn't really care. I'm a fan of leaving at the top. I'm not a fan of burning out. are fading away. I wish we would have given him a tribute. We didn't do shit for Pat, justice for Pat. So yeah, I'm gonna give it.
He gets a B because we have to average it out, but I don't like it. Don't like it. You got two more. The uniforms.
I mean, nobody used them. So.
F.
F.
Yeah,
Dude, when you like when no
What was that
like
about?
just wanting to see Rod.
And the last one, Dave Castro. S. Definitely S tier.
Why?
He's the greatest.
He's the only one to do it.
What are
technically.
what are we grading?
Whatever you want. Dave Castro. S tier.
Yeah, what's your grade, John?
Well, I'm asking you, what are we grading?
S tier.
There's one right answer.
I just told you.
Look at my mom. Where's she at? There she is.
D. F.
Very first comment. F.
Just make him big. Make him take up the whole space.
Yeah, that's what he wants. That's what Dave wants. He wants his ego to be as big as possible.
Yeah.
Let's Austin Hatfield him, and let's make him the whole thing.
He's the greatest.
There
There's
he
not
is.
enough space to fit
He's
him
whatever
anywhere.
you want him to be.
Yeah.
There it is. The 2026 CrossFit Games tier ranking. It's good stuff. All right. We need to move on. Speed run.
Speed tour.
Blind rankings. Tyler, you can't put on we can't do guesses
All
because
right,
that'll
all
take
right.
too long. That'll take too long. We can't do it.
Yeah.
All right. Looking ahead to the next few months without the CrossFit Games. First up.
Is Grid League in there?
Wadapalooza.
I
No.
don't know, John. We'll find out. Rogue Invitational. Where would you put? Where is the Rogue Invitational rank on
Dude,
what
it's
you're
so
looking
far
forward
away.
to?
It's in Scotland, right?
It is in Scotland. One more time.
I generally I'm looking forward to Rogue, but it's just so far off. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna give it a 3.
It's the third best competition in all of CrossFit.
Well, where do you want to put
You
it?
got the games, and then you got Syndicate, and then you got Rogue.
I'll give it to John. It's fine. We can do it at 2. I like
Put
it.
too. All right. Next up, the WFP season. We got one in 4 weeks.
Well, this depends.
It does depend, doesn't it?
Where would you put the WFP season?
Right
Do
now,
we know if James is competing? Do we know if Amy's competing?
yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a 5 right now.
I'm gonna give it a 3 for optimistic reasons.
Ism. So at
Where would
4
you put
it
it?
is.
Where would you put it?
We said
3 or
4.
5 or
We're
4?
averaging out.
We're
4.
averaging out 4.
All right, that's fair. Next up, changes to the 2027 season.
If they actually come true, and they're everything that I want, number 1.
The one semifinal per athlete, I like, is the biggest thing I would look forward to. I would say 1 if they do happen. I would say 1.
Is that what you're looking forward to then?
Yeah, if it happens.
Well, that's what you're looking forward to. So you're looking forward to the potential.
It would
of
change
changes.
everything. Like, it would change so much of what we talk about. The seeding of athletes would create a lot of talk for us. So yeah.
Okay, that's the most exciting. Wadapalooza SoCal. It's a battle of the camps. We don't know what that means, but it sounds like it might be maybe brute.
It looks sick. Now
Mayhem.
I think if like the good people come, this would be awesome. Like you know, all of the best people in your camp. I think it would be really, really cool. If it's like your B team people, I think it will be the worst. So yeah, I mean, it's not going to be 5.
I'm going to try to make it out to this year.
Are you? Yeah. Out in California. Okay. And the last one, number 5, Bruce changes. What does Mr. Bruce, the CEO, do in the off season?
We'll find out soon, I think. Actually, this is probably number 2 of the things I'm looking ahead to the most.
I think John probably does not care.
He doesn't care, but it's so important.
Do you agree with that, John? Do you not care?
I don't care. I mean, until anything happens, like it's impossible.
John, it's like baking bread for your first time. You put it in, you did all the stuff, and you put it in the oven, and now you're about to pull it out and see if you actually made bread or you just made warm goo. And that'll be Bruce.
Okay.
Mr.
I
McCockner, what do we think is changing? I don't know. But here's the thing. If it has anything to do, I mean, I would say everything has to do with the CrossFit Games in some form or fashion. Whether you focus on CrossFit, like the methodology and the affiliates, that probably takes away a little bit. I didn't say you, Lucy.
What are you not happy about?
She's not happy with me.
No one mattered but Amy.
It's not just on Lucy. It's on all of the women. I just wanted to see a better race. I wanted to see some lead changes after Saturday.
See, Summer gets it.
That's your baking bread and to goo analogy. You lost me in the middle of it. I don't care until something happens. I don't want to be told.
Where'd I lose you at the oven?
I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to try to care until something happens. As far as Barry goes,
wait and see.
I'll be very happy if something happens, and if not, then I guess I just won't go to the CrossFit Games again. It's whatever.
We'll get into that next week.
That maybe. I don't know exactly what he's going to change, but I feel like if there's anything with the Games team, it has to be now. You can't wait until the start of the year. You've got to get something done if you're going to do that.
Sure.
And if you're going to make changes to your focus or your budget or anything with the affiliates that's going to impact the Games at all, you also have to make it now. Right? Like, there have been a lot of changes with the affiliates that they've strategically done it not in the game season. Right? To not spook the affiliates, to not like create any like talk about that type of stuff like the best they can. So I think we're going to see something in the next 1, 2, maybe 3 months.
Oh, something's
something's going to
either
start
something
changing.
huge is coming. That would be bread, John. Or absolutely nothing is coming, and you're going to get it's Puxatawny Phil all over again. You're going to get the 6 weeks of the same bullshit. That's goo, John.
Here we go. Jar Jar loves CrossFit. At the owners and coaches conference, there was no mention of how the games fit into the vision and future of CrossFit.
Thanks, Jar Jar.
Well, I think that's poor. I think whenever CrossFit was at its best, they were focusing the most on the games. Also, Lucy, message me on my JY Barbell account. I can't message on my regular account right now. Don't ask why.
There is a chance something happens on October
7th. It's coming up.
Wait,
every year there's hope. I love that every year there's hope.
It's always something. All right.
We have to have special shows on October 7th.
That's true. All right. Last but not least, here we go. What did John get right and what did John get wrong? First up.
Oh, now I understand why he was answering.
Yeah, this was supposed to be like a right-wrong thing. You made it sound like this is an accountability session.
It is. You're always right, John. We'll find out how right you are. First up, the 2026 programming was good. Was that a right or wrong?
I think this was a right. I said everything was looking optimistic, and I'm happy. I'm optimistic about the 2026 CrossFit Games. That was, I mean, I know certain people didn't hear that part, but that was what I predicted.
Clip that.
Nah, they don't care, dude. And I'm happy that it was. I'm happy that the games was good. I thought the games as a whole was good. I'm happy that James doesn't have to live with an asterisk on his back, and I'm happy for the discovery of Amy Kringle. She looks like a superwoman. I hope they market her great. Yeah. So this is where I was right. I'm happy 2026 was good. I thought it would be good, and it was.
One recommendation: don't do a podcast from your car. Next up, Alex Gazan winning the CrossFit Games.
Yeah, I was wrong about this. Obviously, but
I remember going on a pretty hard stance about this and everybody calling me an idiot.
you said
Well,
she
you were
would be
right, Tyler.
You said she wouldn't
Weird.
be top 10. Like you said something crazy.
No, I don't think you ever said that.
No, I didn't say that.
Anyway, I looked at the programming and I thought a lot would be good for Alex Gazan. The thing of it is, she has to be better at CrossFit workouts, right? She has to be top 5 whenever it's mixed model domains and CrossFit-y stuff, right? I thought she would have a lot of home runs. She hit some of them she didn't hit. You can't not be able to do one triple under. You're never going to win the games if something new comes up and you can't figure out how to do it.
Yeah,
You're not. So I was wrong on Alex Gazan. Still optimistic for the future for her. 4th place ain't too bad, but I was wrong about her being first.
James Sprague and Dallin Pepper.
Yeah, I was dead on the money on both of these guys, obviously. All year, I said James Sprague was going to win the CrossFit Games. All year, I said he was the fittest man in the world. The week before the games, I changed my mind to Dallin Pepper. The week before. Mistake by me for sure, but
Not wrong.
But the two guys that have been on my mind were 1 and 2, and it was very close to the end. So I'm going to say I was right about these two. Maybe the timeline is a little bit, different of when I was right, but I'm happy for those two, and I've been on those two the whole year. So I apologize for James for not sticking with my gut, but I still had him winning for the whole year until last week. So
This was actually the only thing I was wrong about this year. Was James.
yeah, you hate James.
No, I don't hate James. It's just I'm.
That's not what you were
bummed that I
saying.
missed
Like
this.
when we weren't live, you were like telling me like how he only wins because of certain programming.
It's in
And
the private
Given
chat.
that I spent a solid hour talking about how attractive I think he is, I think we're okay.
and you don't like him, and you
Yeah, this was the only thing I got wrong all year.
You hated
I
Christianity.
mean, here's another thing you got right. Surya Meha.
Surya
Johnny
Miha. Yeah, me and Spin were both wrong about Surya Miha. Tyler, for some unknown reason, has just
Some
been
call it intelligence, but you
on
can call it what you want.
on Surya Miha all year, and she was really good. She got 12th place at the games, but she moved extremely well. Like something that I was appreciative of, and we talked about this when we were podcasting, is that when she moves a barbell, she's not the strongest person, but she moves better than a lot of the other girls. And being a good mover will take you very far in the future, in the games, and just your journey. And she moves extremely well. So
Maybe to the top.
I was wrong about Surya Miha. I won't question anything about her again. If you tell me she's going to podium next year, I will still say that you're on.
Guess
crack.
what, John?
But I
That's
gonna
2027.
all right, make sure
prediction.
you record it, Spin, so we don't get him saying I'm always right.
That's true. Alexis Raptis.
Nailed it again.
I was right about Alexis Raptis. I think I had her 14th, but when we talked about her, the whole thing was I can't trust what Alexis Raptis we're going to get, right? I think the tough thing about her is you don't know if the overheating thing is going to happen. It is a thing. It's a thing. And if it happens, it basically takes her out of the competition for a while. And then she'll recover, and then she's better. But it is a thing. It's happened multiple times. I think her medication, Spin speculated her medication makes her less heat resistant. And I almost think you just got to deal with whatever stomach problems you have, because you were better whenever you were dealing with said stomach problems, right? Maybe that's not like an option. I don't know what the deal is with that, right? But I disagree with Tessa. She goes, she's just not that into it.
That's very false.
I think she's very into it. And she's figuring it out. It's a problem. It's a thing, but she's figuring it out. Until she has it figured out, I'm not going to predict her to be top 10. But I do think it's coming. I do think it's possible for her to get at least where she can perform her best, and it's not something else taking her out. Don't pull it up, Tyler.
Go ahead, spin.
Next up, Mirham von Rohr.
Yeah, very wrong about Mirham. I think this is unanimous. Everybody was wrong about Mirham. Even if
I made an assessment,
even if you don't think that she was going to be good, you didn't have her below top 15. You know, it just felt like a different person. You know, she made a post that
She's doing too much.
That she didn't think this is what was going to happen, but she felt overtrained and that she is looking into getting a coach. So everything she's done right now has been self-trained.
Wow.
Which is
I did
amazing.
not see that post.
So
considering last year, pretty amazing because she got 7.
She did that, and then there was a post. I can't remember who posted. Maybe it was. Oh, I think it was. Maybe it was her. I don't know, but it showed her learning the roles to support, and one of the photos had Hinshaw helping her.
You're desperate. Yeah, but I've been desperate. I don't know if I've ever been that desperate.
Running, I get it.
Yeah, it's
Role
like
to
me
support.
asking spin for weightlifting advice.
Yeah, don't do that. It's not the way to go.
What's wrong is he's not wrong, or what's crazy is he's not wrong.
Right. Like, I probably understand the dynamics of it, but I'm not the one that, like, there's better people out there. So that's a good call. Colton Mertens and Anil Akai.
Yeah, I put this here because there's another analyst out there.
Where?
By the name of Brian Friend, who we basically, if you're European, he picks you to do good. If you're American, I pick you to do good. And vice versa. He hates Colton, and I don't hate Anil Akai, but ranked him very low. I was dead on right about Anil Akai. I had him like 21st. And what did he end up spin?
21st.
20 on the dot. Like, no, he didn't. He was 22nd. 22nd. And I had Colton 10th, and he was 11th. So I was dead on right about those two. Brian basically had those reversed. He's dead on wrong. But I also want to say this. Brian did pick the winners, both correct. He said Amy Kringle was the best one there, and I argued Lucy Campbell, and he picked James to win the games. We were both kind of doing the same thing all year. He stuck to James, and I didn't. So I do want to give Brian his props. He picked both the winners. Typically, I do better at the top, and he does better down low. This time it was reversed. But I do want to give him his props on picking the winners of both things. I think it's the most important thing to be able to pick, and he did that. So we had someone on show us. You know what? You're looking for timeout again, CrossFit.
This is also a crazy. This is a crazy comment here. Standy, Raptus is the female version of Grant mentality.
Oh man, I don't know about that. I don't even know what that means.
I don't even know what that means. Yeah,
it's probably doing Alexis dirty. Jay Crouch.
I was wrong about Jay Crouch. I picked Ricky to be up there. Ricky has never lost to Jay Crouch in the games. In the games, Ricky has always done better than Jay Crouch. They're always within like 3 spots of each other, but it's weird. Like Jay does better in semifinals typically, and then Ricky does better at the games. I believe Ricky won semifinals, even though Jay looked better, and Jay was awesome. You know, the hang clean run event, he looked dominant. You know, and I think we need to take note. There's a barbell cycling event. Jay Crouch is a freaking dog. Okay, his battery, fantastic. So, I think I had Jay like 8th or 9th, right? And I had Ricky 4th, and they should have been flipped. So I was wrong about Jay. Congrats, Jay, to your podium.
All right, we got 2 more. Roman Krenikov.
Yeah, no, I just was wrong. I thought he should be better than that. I blame Mayhem. The workouts were really good for him, and I
think I had him 8th.
He didn't perform
7th, 8th. And the last one, CrossFit Whip.
Yeah, I said Whip and Mayhem were the top 2 teams, and it was going to be a battle.
Oh, wow.
No, because Oslo Krieger, you could say what you want. Pretty much every single person who was ranking teams were picking Oslo Krieger because they won the previous year, and they upgraded to BKG.
They also brought the ghost of BKG in.
has been BKG. I get it, but
He was having way too much fun, by the way.
It was an upgrade, so forth, for Oslo Krieger. Everybody was picking Oslo Krieger, and I said Whip would win the games, and Mayhem would be second. And
this is incredible.
And that is what happened.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Whip 'em won. So,
all right, I'm going to leave you with this one last question from CrossFit. Do these results validate World Fitness Project?
No.
James won last year. Amy should have won on many accounts. The tiebreaker was insane for the women.
what?
Fittest athletes are the fittest athletes, and it doesn't
Last
matter
year,
what competition.
for the whole season, James won, and then Amy tied with Laura, but lost on the tiebreaker to take second.
Mm-hmm.
Do the games results validate World Fitness?
I would say in what way? Because if you're saying, like, I think World Fitness Project is a good fitness competition. You know, the winner of Rogue, we don't say they're the fittest woman in the world, fittest woman and man in the world. You know, James was 4th or 3rd at Rogue, right?
Yeah, validate what is the right
how
question.
did Amy Kringle do at Rogue? Let me ask you that. I bet you she doesn't end up doing good, even if she
didn't
doesn't
do Rogue.
No, I know. I'm saying if she does it, I bet she does not win. Very handedly, bet she does not win. I bet she doesn't top 2. But we don't say that those. You know, Veldner's won Rogue like twice or 3 times. Twice.
Once.
Was Waterpalooza the one who won 3 times?
Yes.
But like, we didn't say Veldner was the fittest man in the world. I think World Fitness Project is another fitness competition. Well, I'm saying we don't claim that they're the fittest people in the world. The games claims who the fittest people in the world are. WFP is another fitness competition. That's how it should be looked at. Like, if you want to validate them as a fitness competition, like
It is a fitness competition. Nobody's disputing that.
I think they're a good fitness competition. I validate that.
Validate. You
It's
are
validated.
now validated.
It is validated.
We'll send them their validation card.
They're not claiming they're the fittest people in the world. Like, this crowns them. I think they wanted to, and then they realized that's a bad idea. They're not claiming that anymore. I think they're a good fitness competition. The way they're run is very good.
Easy, Barry. Barry,
no.
All right, there we go. That's a long show. Thanks for sticking with us. 2027 season changes. We'll see what comes of that with CAC, and we got a little bit of info on that from Mr. Seth Page. The games rating, the Bopper was definitely the S tier, and that's where you should be. John is always right, whether he thinks he is or not. And
I want to change this to John's accountability session because I don't like the way this is worded.
It is what it is. Code SPIN saves you money. Frog Grips, Paper Street Coffee, JY Barbell. There's no more code for 2 months free, but you could still get 14 days free. And then go check out MetFix and Broken Science. See all of what they've got going on. Until next week.
I apologize to absolutely nobody.